Good morning, YouTube. I'm here with ZZ Mark and the Eddie Horvath.
Mark.
It is the 25th of January, and we'll talk about what we're going to do today in a minute. It got down to 9 degrees last night, and that's all I got to say about that. Okay. We got a couple super thanks. Steve Murnack, thank you, and Sid Bloom.
Thanks, Sid.
And Douglas Lemire Sr., 77th birthday on the 18th.
Birthday, Doug.
Krisky Wood Creations, 67 on the 28th.
Happy birthday.
And I guess that's a YouTube channel. And Christopher Grebe, 45 on the 31st. So happy birthday. And getting back to today, it's too cold to even consider firing anything up as far as the sawing equipment. Things tend to break. So we got a bunch of lumber piles to break down. We got sawdust that needs to leave here. We got some cleanup. We got some burning to do around back. So this video is going to be what happens behind the scenes when the saw blade's not spinning.
You got to do something.
And them days occur, and a lot of times we don't film them. Right. So there's a few things I want to walk around with the camera, showing off. One guy asked how the feed works on the mill. How does that actually work? So if I remember to shoot that today, people want to see more details on the sawdust collection. So there's a few things we'll look at. A little bit of cleanup, a little bit of maintenance. So
we'll be busy.
Oh yeah, well,
got some
mail.
Yeah,
we got mail. I'm sorry.
Steve McFarland. Steve sent some Florida or fire-related mugs.
There you go.
Firehouse magazine.
Yeah, look at these. These are some old ones here. And
Alex will.
Yeah, I think Alex will appreciate these.
It's another one for fire department.
Yeah. They'll probably
Steve.
go at his new bar up on a shelf for display. Thank you.
That's very nice of him. Very
We
nice.
also got some license plates. These came from James Webb from down in West Virginia. Some stickers sent with us too. So I didn't know this. In West Virginia, every year for a while there, that you got a brand new license plate every year.
Motorcycle plates.
So these are motorcycle plates. We'll put these up on the wall. James, thanks so much for sending these. We'll make sure we get these put up where they can be displayed.
And who's on
back?
the wheelbarrow there?
Look at this guy.
Sammy.
What did you say he had?
He had a
Magnetectomy?
Yeah, magnetectomy. Yeah. He had a detached magnet, and he had to go to surgery. So he recovered. He recovered very well, and yeah, Sammy's back in business here. And I missed him
because Carl's going to have some company now.
Yeah, Carl's going to have company. You know, I got to make sure the safety's up. I told everybody when I showed that chainsaw, don't put that plastic bag over your head. That's bad. You know, we need safety.
Hey, I had to stop and get these because I have a new grandson.
Oh no!
My son and his wife had a little baby boy on Tuesday, so we're gonna do the celebratory. Have a cigar,
some cigars.
Celebrate the birth.
That sounds good.
That sounds good.
Well, we better get to work.
Well, let's do something.
All right. Well, we're breaking some lumber piles down. Where's this stuff going, Ed?
This is going on a barn 10 miles from here.
Oh, okay.
Actually, I shouldn't call it a barn. I'm going to call it a horse stable.
There you go.
Barns for cows, stables are for horses.
And then we're getting a lot of our stickers back today.
We'll be getting into some lighter ones down here we
You want to pull this one out? Or?
No.
Okay.
We'll have some lighter ones here.
Well, some nice pine.
It is.
Should be a long one, I think. Check it on the far end, Mark.
Well, what I always do when we're not sawing is always check my check the dogs, check the knees. I mix up used motor oil and a little bit of diesel, and this seems to work very well on lubricating the dogs. So you just want to give it a little squirt, run them in and out. Get some on the slides, up in the ways, and a little bit on the face of the knees here, a little bit on the head block base, and as you saw, that the first outside of the log takes care of all that. It sort of goes away, but yeah, you definitely want some lubrication on here because these are designed to push out of the way if this one is to be used. And it's so cold right now, things aren't really moving like they should, but that's part of it. On the back side of it, I don't have any of my gear oil, but I'll take you off the stand here and excuse the bad camera angles here. But the way this thing operates is it's a rack and pinion, and a little dark in here right now, but basically this is the working end of it, and this is actually the set shaft, And underneath the set shaft is where everything happens. So you got the rack and then you got the pinion gear, and I'll lube that up with like chainsaw bar oil, and that seems to work really, really well on it. So I do that in a little bit of warmer weather, but that's one thing that is part of the maintenance. The actual wheels themselves, there are grease fittings on here, but these were packed really good whenever we put the new wheels and track on. We got a little bit of a hydraulic dripping going on here, which actually lubricates that chain up. And you want to check your master dog, make sure the pins are in place. If any of these keeper pins do come out, you'll have problems. I got a couple cylinders that need rebuilt on the couple of the dogs, but again, we're going to wait for some warmer weather. And inside the set work box here, you just want to make sure that there's nothing loose. And I check that usually every time before we fire up the mill. There's the little hydraulic motor that runs the set shaft in and out, and that's all the bigger it is. So that's how that happens. All that works. These are all the solenoids. This is all electric over hydraulic. We just keep a piece of canvas over it. But that's basically how everything on this mill operates. Electric over hydraulic. There's 2 banks of these, and there's the other bank. Then you got your tons of wires. There's a lot involved to make these things move the way you see them move. And getting over to the business end here, someone had asked what makes this carriage drive work. Well, basically you got your big cable drum, and believe it or not, these little grooves that are in it, they were not machined in it. That was from all the years that this thing has run up and down the tracks. And you can see what it looked like when it was brand new. So we're probably getting close to having to replace that cable drum at some point. And it goes underneath. Here's the shaft here, and I'm not sure how good you're going to be able to see this, but I'm going to try to pull this big hunk of rubber up here that's covering up the actual drive. But down in there sits another hydraulic motor, and you can see the chain. I hope you can see the chain. Yeah, it's kind of hard here. And there's the hydraulic motor there that actually drives the carriage back and forth. It's nothing more than a valve on my joystick there that runs the carriage back and forth. So yeah, you want to keep a good eye on things. Check how much plays in the saw guide. This is still pretty good. It could probably be tightened up a little bit. You can see how froze the sawdust is. And this is that toolless guide I told you about. This don't require no tools. So this knob here runs the outer guide, and then this knob here runs the inner guide. And that's how I can adjust the saw while it's spinning without getting anywhere near with wrenches and tools. And then the log deck, you just want to just visually check things over, look for any cracks, everything. I'll say one thing, Edmonston built a heck of a good mill back in the 80s when they started this company, and they've improved throughout the years, and it's good that someone had bought the company. And old Chewy, this basically, there's people that says, why don't we put rubber tips on here? I don't think that'll last. I don't think you could turn one log with it. But basically it's a number 100 chain, and Edmonston actually welds these cogs on here. And I do not sharpen them. They seem to do fine the way they are. Some of these are extra sharp, some aren't. But that's the way it came from the factory. I think we got 3 years on that now. And then basically you got another hydraulic motor down here that turns Chewy. Then there's another hydraulic cylinder underneath there that sends it up. And when you're looking at the log deck, you want to check your in-feed chains. Even today, I don't think would even, they're froze right down to the tubing there. So I don't think we could even run the deck up if we were sawing today. It'd be frozen. And then up in the cab here, I've done this tour many a times, But yeah, from the operator's position here, I basically got 2 joysticks. Let me get my glove off here so I can, sorry about the camera shaking. I'm just trying to get everybody some footage that you hardly ever see on this channel. But there are videos, complete Sawmill Controls. I show how it works. I actually did some cab cam where I had the camera up here. Too many people complain, so the sad thing, the complainers always win in this world. But this stick here runs my knees in and out. So you got forward and reverse. That's what these 2 buttons do. There's 5 buttons here. Each one of these is a preset. So this number 1 would be my 1/8", which we call 4/4. Number 2 is like 5/4. This is a full 1.5". This is a full 2. And that right there, we really don't have it set for nothing specific, but it would throw a real thick board. I believe it'll go up to like 3.5. It would be nice if it would go 4. Okay, on this stick, this controls my dogs, my master dog. So master dog up and down. This is dogs up and down, dogs in and out. Now the fricks, like Shannon Burns is running on Temple Hill, when you hit your up and down button, when you hit it one time, dogs go down. You hit it again, dogs go up. Same thing on in and out. So he has 2 buttons, but the hydraulic is a closed circuit, so that's why you'd need 2. And then when you pull back on this stick, it brings Chewy up. You push forward, Chewy goes down. And if you go off to the left here, Chewy, the chain turns. And you can reverse the direction, but it really won't turn the log. But if you want to get it out of the way, there's 3 foot pedals there. The one on the left is the chains that bring the logs up to the stop and load. The middle pedal runs the little arms that come up, the loader arms. So that's how that works. And then the one on the right is the stop and load, which flings the log on the carriage. This is Mr. Laser right here, and Mr. Laser sits right there. You don't really see it on the film, but we'll go out and look at that here in a second. I have a 1500 watt inverter, which runs my electronics as far as the my 110 volts for my set works. There's another bank of buttons that sits over here to the left side of me. This is tapers in and out for my number 1 knee, tapers in and out for my number 2 knee. It has provisions for 2 more valves. I don't have a taper on my number 4. I really don't need it, but someday if I decided to put cant kickers or cant turn downs, I could run them off of this spare set of buttons. So there are options. And the famous camera turner. So the camera sits outside the cab, and so I got my hands full in here. So you got to turn the camera back and forth or you get yelled at. So that's what goes on there. And my cab needs a good cleaning. But and then there's the overflow sawdust that gets shoveled out once in a while. But there's Mr. Laser right there, and it'll shoot about a 20-foot long line, and it's pretty good where it's set, and it's very easy to adjust if you had to. Lumberline did a beautiful job on designing their lasers. I would highly recommend them. So, well, we'll go out back here and look at the sawdust blower. Well, we're back at the sawdust blower, which sits out directly behind the saw blade. So we have an 8-inch pipe that comes off of the head saw, and I have a 4-inch divided off of this that goes to the back side of the saw blade. And so it pulls into this blower, which is a 24-inch fan on that with it actually has a 10-inch intake, but we choked it down to 8. And then it comes out of the blower with an 8-inch pipe into the sawdust bin. And this is a 13 horsepower Harbor Freight Predator engine. If you're going to go this setup, here's a little recommendation here. I put a centrifugal clutch on this thing, and what that allows is for the blower itself to go without turning the motor. So the motor can ramp up to speed with no load on it, and it just makes it so much easier on that motor. If you're trying to pull the starter and you're spinning this fan, you're going to have a heck of a time to get it to go. So that's a good solution to a problem. We did the same thing on the chop saw, on the swing saw here. So yeah, we have a Sawdust Blower coming up. Hopefully he makes it today. And the sun's actually shining now, but yeah, the sawdust bin it's called overflow. It is full as you can get a sawdust bin. So there you go. And this will go to a horse farm. We do not put walnut in it for a reason, because it'll mess up the hooves on the horse. So that is our storage. So hopefully we get rid of most of this today. And we got a few more cherry logs that need to go. We got to cut something for Don Holden yet that'll come out of this cherry. We do have some more sycamore that needs sawed up in the same pile. And you can see the boxes of slab wood keeps getting emptier and emptier. I've been chewing through it at my shop. And we had a pile of slabs from years ago that sat here. So I said, let's just light this thing on fire today. It won't get out of hand, and it seems to be catching, and it'll burn nice and slowly through here as it melts the snow off. So that way we can get this area all cleaned out and put more slab storage back here. So we'll get this all cleaned up. But yeah, basically this is what the back side of the mill looks like. And of course our slab boxes. And we keep the pine and the hardwood separate. So this is all softwood here, pine and such, and then this is all hardwood here. So, and then here's the back side of the edger, and I keep the I put these little mats over top the belt so the sun don't beat them up. So, and then of course our chop saw, and this is a very important tool. It really keeps things cleaned up around here. And it's due for sharpening, so I gotta get this blade sent out. But it's a 28-inch blade. I believe it's 60 teeth, and it does a great job. Again, we're running a 13 horsepower Predator on it, and we put the centrifugal clutch on it. So same thing, you fire the engine up, you're not spinning the blade. And as soon as the engine comes up to speed, the centrifugal clutch kicks in and away it goes. And I bought this thing, oh, it had to have been probably 8-10 years ago. And it's actually on our first video on this channel called Old Time Sawmill. And you'll see my daughter Savannah on there. She was a real little girl, and I was cutting slabs and she was in the background. It was kind of cute. And we're back around to this side, so hopefully we have a Sawdust Blower show up. slabwood pile. This will burn for probably, oh, it might burn all weekend as far as I'm concerned here. And this is the perfect day to burn this stuff. It can't go nowhere. It's got 6 inches of snow on top of it, and it controls how fast it'll burn. So once the fire gets underneath of it, it melts some snow, it moves forward, burns down to ashes, and keeps going. So I'm fairly happy with the way that's burning, so it's not going to hurt nothing. And it's always a good day when you clean, basically like flushing the toilet for the sawmill, because it was full, as you've seen in the last part when I showed the bin. So this is good for oh, we're in the winter time now, so I doubt if we'll fill this thing up before March, because well, it depends on what the weather does. But yeah, it's nice and cleaned out now. We can start over fresh. And a lot of times we saw walnut. This is the time when we do saw the walnut. When the bin's empty, we can go in there, clean it back out, get rid of the walnut, and then go back into sawing pine or whatever valuable sawdust. And that's the thing about the circle mill. Everybody cries about the kerf on it, but that is revenue for us. Band mills, they really have nothing to do with their actual sawdust. It's like powder. So we got a load of lumber leaving. The sawdust is already left. There was that pile you seen us breaking down earlier. Oh, we'll go over to the log deck here. You got to see all kind of things today. And I figured let's make a video like this once in a while. Things that happen when we're not spinning that saw blade. And again, the chains were froze down on the deck, and this is going to be your Friday Eve video here. So I do not send that first log into the stop and load when the mill's not running, because if the hydraulics leak off, we're going to have a log laying on the track. And don't say it can't happen, because it has happened. Not to us, but I've seen a few other people that happened to. So the pile of poplar is slowly getting eaten away here. And there's the guys. What do you think?
I think it's been a very productive day.
A non-sawing productive day.
Yeah, and you know, every once in a while we'll bring you along when we're up here doing something different. And look at that fine load of Pennsylvania pine leaving here. So
Horses are going to be happy.
oh yeah. And we made the other horses happy with the sawdust and the bedding. I just come back from the bin to show everybody. And we got
kind of day, yeah. Helping the animals.
Yeah,
out.
absolutely. So, hey, if you like this video, please give me a thumbs up and leave something in a comment if you like this sort of video. And Friday Eve, we will be sawing some more poplar. We're going to make some 2x6s.
2x6s.
And that's for one of our subscribers that ordered some lumber.
This is going to end up in Michigan on a building.
There you go. So, hey, thanks again. And we'll catch you on the next one on Friday Eve.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.